recognise this kind of road from when it does snow, as it did earlier this year.
Beast from the East.
The Beast from the East, yeah, absolutely.
Did you kind of, was that kind of like, as a game developer, like the dream moment to happen, especially when you're working Forza Horizon 4, you knew you were having winter in there. Was that just like kind of like a gift where you're like...
If you're working on a game based in the UK with winter in it, then yes,
yeah,
there was...
Yeah, I mean, it's fair to say that, I mean, every season has kind of been the perfect season this past couple of years. So yeah, it was awesome. And we absolutely went out and didn't just have fun building snowmen, we went out and got...
Is that the snowman that we knocked over earlier, was that yours? Was that your snowman? We're like, all right, we're going to build a snowman, it's for the game.
I mean, actually, the guys had, they had to do the difficult, painful task of going to that same 4x4 park in the snow to drive it, just because Andy absolutely needed to find out how the cars were handling on a combination of mud and snow.
It was apparently very important.
Yeah, it was very important.
I'm not surprised. Did he kind of push for it hard? I need to go. It needs to be right.
Absolutely, yeah. And to be fair to him, he came back with some pretty good reference, and it's made for a pretty authentic experience inside that park. So.
What else? What kind of else did you kind of get from the Beast from the East to kind of put into Forza Horizon 4?
I think the other thing is maybe, like, you remember how long that sort of lasted. Like, quite often in Britain, you get that thing where it snows and then very quickly melts away. But I think because we had that real harsh cold winter, everything froze and stuck around for quite a long time. So we got to experience what that, you got that slushy sort of look to the roads you get in Britain when it starts to melt, which is totally there. But also when you get a real hard frost on tarmac, that's something that we don't necessarily see all that often, but we got to experience lots of it during that particular part of the year. And that's something that we've managed to replicate.
You kind of get the kind of same slipperiness that kind of going at that speed as well, because where you have to kind of change your style of driving to kind of compensate for that kind of like ice and that slush.
Absolutely, and there's some other like specific things going on which I know the car handling guys got really into and made quite a few observations around which they weren't expecting, which is just the sudden shocking drop in temperature on the tyres when you hit a snowy surface. Did some really unexpected things to the way the cars were handling inside the physics model. Which gives you this whole new sort of layer of depth to the driving experience in winter in certain areas of the map.
Yeah, and also, because like Ralph, you said it straight from the offset at the start of these streams that winter was your favourite season, right? What is it that makes like winter your favourite?
So I think for me the biggest thing is, I think it's incredibly powerful when a game can change the way it looks completely. I'm sure I'm not alone in loving games, playing games a lot, and then when you absolutely love a game, when you play it a lot, you get super familiar with it. You totally understand every inch of the world that you're playing in, and what this game, and in particular winter within this game, does is on a really regular basis completely change the way the world looks, so that when you return to it, sure, it's the same world that you've been playing in, it's the same roads that you know, but it looks so completely different that it's almost kind of like just refreshing.
Yeah, like I always throw back to playing the E3 demo when you kind of went through that kind of like demo track and you were actually going down the same road, but no one really noticed because it was so drastically different, which is kind of going to be amazing. We saw the map as well, which is you guys have actually shared on Instagram and Twitter. If anyone wants to go check that out, go to Instagram or Twitter at Forza Motorsport on Twitter or at Forza Motorsport Official on Instagram, and you can check out the map in winter because it looks so different, just the map from what we saw last week.
And to jump on your point about it, looking super different, you didn't recognise it. I think that's actually true for a bunch of the guys on the development team as well. The first time we did that route and we started working on it, people were surprised when they heard that was the same stretch of road we were using, which was kind of validation for us that it really did feel and look like a very different experience.
And there's the white space again as well, which is always nice to see. But we've got a few, we can get in a couple last questions, guys. So if you've got any last questions, this is your chance to get them in, get them answered by Ralph and Ben as we kind of come up to the end. Because what do we have on next week as well? Because next week is the final season.
It's the final season, it's the final show. What will we do with Tuesday nights after that? We're built up quite a debt, haven't we? We've promised that we will show Edinburgh, so we will. We've promised that we'll show competitive team racing, so we will. I can't remember if we promised any other things, but we almost inevitably
This
have.
is the moment where I kind of need to just try and get you to promise more things, because then it's just
Well,
so we can then get more things next week.
So yeah, I know obviously, it goes without saying, spring. We will be showing spring. I think we'll probably drop the spring map in the same way we have the winter map on social media this next week as well. So there's a ton of stuff coming up in our final show next week.